Okay, so there's nothing much for today. We're just going to be introducing some things briefly and then making sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. So okay, I will start with who I am, my name, and who I am in general. So my name is Christopher Aonduna Sesu. I'm a software developer and I am your trainer for this track, NodeJs Intermediate. Okay, so we don't have much time. Let's just get straight to the point. Please, if you have any questions, just reserve it for, let me say, the Q&A section, because we get to that. Let me just get straight to the point. So before I continue, I would like to advise, if you are learning and while learning, just try to avoid AI in all aspects. Maybe you want to do something, you don't know how to do it, you can just go ahead and then try to crack your brain and then get your answers. But if you can't do that on your own, you can actually maybe prompt AI, but do not allow it to lead. It may give you ideas that yours are better than, so you can actually come back to yours and then work on them. AI is just AI and you are a human. Do not allow AI to lead. If not, it will destroy you and your career. Okay, so moving on, we'll be talking about the tools we'll be using throughout this boot camp. And number one on the list, it's our text editor. Okay, so you can actually use any text editor, but preferably you will use VS Code or Cursor. Let me say VS Code, because VS Code is good for what we're going to be doing, and you will see it when we start. And then second on the list is Node.js. Make sure you have Node.js installed on your system. Greater than or equal to version 20. That is, you don't have to install anything less than version 20 of Node.js. Make sure it's version 20 or greater. So we have Node.js version 20, we have version 21, and then we have the latest version 23 that supports TypeScript out of the box. Okay. So the third item we'll be using throughout this boot camp is Postman for API testing. So make sure you have Postman installed on your machine and ready to run. And I don't have to mention this, but I'll just mention it because you're already on Discord and I believe you've installed Zoom on your machine and it's running. That's the reason why you are on this call. And then we have Git for you to submit your intermediate tasks. I mean intermediate tests. I believe you have Git installed on your system. That was the reason why you had the opportunity to write and push your code to GitHub. So that's great. For the browser, last but not the least, and the least, we have a specific browser I'll be using for this bootcamp. We'll be using Chrome or Brave, not because they are the best, but because so that we can be in sync, so that if you have any errors or you have any issues, I can be able to help you debug or detect the issues. So it's either you use Chrome or you use Brave. And most of us don't know what Brave browser is, but you can go check. Maybe if you don't like Chrome, you download Brave or stick to Chrome. That will be fine. Okay, so these are the tools, the basic tools that we'll be using for throughout this bootcamp. VS Code, Node.js, version 20 or greater, Postman for API testing, Zoom for classes, for holding our classes, Git for version control, and then Chrome or Brave for browser. So moving on, before I continue, I would like to state something, or I would like to make something clear to you. If you are to submit a task, or if you are given a task to do, make sure you submit on time, because late submission will affect your being here in this boot camp. It will affect everything you are doing here. So make sure you complete and submit your tasks on time. Okay, I think that's clear. Anyhow you want to do it, sleepless nights, restless days, just make sure you submit your task on time and avoid AI. Make sure you avoid AI. Try to crack your brain, bring up solutions, code. And if you don't know syntax, maybe you have a solution, but you don't know the syntax to actually implement that solution, all you have to do is check MDN docs to actually grab the syntax. You can go to MDN docs and then type maybe the term maybe the syntax you want to use. Maybe it's an array or array from, array map. Just type map there, and the result will pop up. You select map, read through it, and make sure you understand how to use it. So that is how developers learn. Make sure you read the docs. Okay, so that's awesome. For the class material, we have our curriculum, and I believe you've gone through it on the LMS, and it's actually a good one. So throughout this bootcamp, we'll be learning how to become better in NodeJs. We build several apps in NodeJs using JavaScript and NodeJs with no framework or library. And then we proceed gradually to learn and understand what NodeJS is all about, the advanced concepts in JavaScript, and then we will learn how to write tests, both unit tests and integration tests. We also are going to be using Nest.js as our framework in this bootcamp. So after learning Node.js, learning JavaScript, and then building some apps with it, and then also learning about the build tools and how we can use them, we'll proceed to Nest.js and see how all these frameworks are being coupled and how they make life easier for us in building complex applications. So we're using Nest.js. We'll also write tests. We learn about tests, unit tests, integration tests, end-to-end tests. What do we call this? Okay, so you are not front-end developers, but we have different kind of tests. We learn about some that will be useful to us as back-end developers. That's awesome. So just get prepared. It's not going to be easy, let me tell you. It's not going to be easy. We learn a lot, but it will be a kind of difficult. So just get prepared for what's coming. Get yourself well prepared. Okay, so for the brief introduction, I guess that's all. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask just for the introduction.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm sorry, I would like to hear what you said in the beginning of the class. I'm sorry, I joined in late, waiting for the link to be activated.
Okay, so can you bring me back? When did you join?
I met you where you were talking about reading the docs and learning the syntax.
Oh, okay. So that is if I can recall, I was talking about that should be about late submissions and all of that. Okay. So I introduced myself, Christopher Aondunasesu, software developer, and your trainer for this track. And please do not join late next time. And I also advised you about on AI, do not use AI while learning. It will affect you and your career. It will also affect your mental health. That's bad for you. For the tools, I mentioned the tools we'll be using throughout this bootcamp. I said you should have VS Code ready, Node greater or equal to version 20, Postman for API testing, Zoom, Git, and Chrome or Brave for your browser. I also mentioned about late task submissions. Do not submit your tasks late. If you are given a task, make sure you do it and submit even before time, because that will affect you in this boot camp. So in brief, that was all I already said before you joined the class.
Okay, thank you for the briefing.
Yeah, welcome. So any other questions?
Hello. Good
Yeah, I
morning.
can hear you. Morning.
Yeah. For the Postman, is the Chrome extension okay, or do you have to download the
No.
Postman app itself?
Okay, so the Chrome extension, the last time I checked, it was deprecated and not longer, they are no longer maintaining it. And the browser version is not advisable to be used. So download it on your machine and make sure it's an app that you can use. Not Chrome extension, not in the browser.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so I guess in absence of any other questions, we can just go ahead and